Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, site defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on Crossroads. In the north, it is Batonchik fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 21st Panzer Division here with mechanized assault elite troops and storm dogs in the south. It is Acehiro fighting for the British Empire, the Commonwealth. Taking on the role here of the 7th Armoured Division with Commando Regiment featuring commando gliders, smoke raids, operations, assault, mortar cover and air supremacy. So off here to a potentially very exciting match here with triple sections versus double grenadiers, and as always a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters, champion and heroes one and all, and without the support the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to all those other people in John Mike's Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal, and a big thanks to Andrew in this regard. A big thanks to you for donating and support the Propagandacast with your hard-earned money. And finally, if you're going to pre-order Comments Fee, you can also support the Propagandacast by using the link in the comments and pre-order through there using the code STUG3G, all caps. Obviously not in the number. That way I get a cut of the sale there, so that's a nice way to support me that way. And finally, just comment, like, share, subscribe. So with all that stuff out of the way, we got a third gunnery squad there for Batonchik, going for a fairly infantry ability to meet the English head-on the fields of Western Europe. Samex in the south here, as Acehiro steadily moving forward here for the British Empire, ready to meet any Germanic foe head-on behind a nice ablative layer of sand. University flying up for Acehiro in the British Empire. Note the capping order here and helps him screen against any sort of potential pushes, but also just helps him get more resources. Obviously, these still provide resources, so by doing that, boom, bit of sneaky there by Batonchik. Pioneers, they're busy with some Samex of their own. Steady stuff as we go on. Bit of quiet here, grab another point here. Overall, again, very aggressive pressure here by Batonchik so far. Just grabbing as much as map as he can against Acehiro. 4th Grenadier Squad on the way here. We'll have to see which commander goes for. Certainly quite a few options there. Storm, elite troops. Mechanized assault seems a little less likely by now, but theoretically could still happen. South University racing forwards there, going straight for the Grenadiers here by the carve point. Section flank from north here, catching now Batonchik's Grenadiers in a bit of a pincer here, and he will likely have to treat the Grenadiers soon. There we go. Otherwise, he might risk suffering some very needless casualties. Up here, Grenadiers met by the section there, the sandbag wall pretty much means any head-on assault here is going to be a very bad idea, because the infantry section gets a bonus behind cover. And they're quite nice to dig up, because the Wehrmacht with the 4-man squads, this can quickly become very painful. So, against the British, as the Wehrmacht, you're typically looking to, like, engage them much more smartly and try and, like, avoid any sort of, well, engagements that result in potential attrition. So, we got Storm here with ambush training, smoke bombs, Jaeger command squad, howitzers, and the Stuka bombing strike. Would love to see elite troops and some stormtroopers, but can't have everything. In fact, got Batonchik here with a 5th Grenadier squad here, committing to a very infantry approach here against the English. Clearly maximizing what he can squeeze out of the Panzer Grenadier company there. 5th Grenadier squad almost done there for Batonchik. Section force here, backed up, Universal Carrier. No tech yet for Acehiro, as he will soon be found himself, and there you go, the auspices of a large infantry assault. There we go, trying to flank around here, that way denying them at least a heavy cover, but they still get the cover bonus in terms of like offensive firepower, and this ultimately has to retreat here. A nice attempt there with Batonchik, but sadly not quite going his way. The Universal Russian forces roll here, going to try for a wipe here in the centre there. Assault, though, is going off a bit better. The additional flamethrower team definitely assists Batonchik a fair chunk here. Quick sprint here to try and catch the Universal with a good old-fashioned Panzerfaust. But no, Universal is able to drive a running Grenadier squad here in the centre there. Pioneers versus the section that already alone help the section will have to retreat soon. There we go. Lewis catches on fire. And Hammond. Back here for Batonchik, we got Tech. Acehiro's also taking up himself soon. In fact, he's doing it now. Grenadier squad's being wiped out here. Not the best engaging out there for Batonchik. Quite a blow there. Great kill for Acehiro. Handfast Universal Carrier. Leaving that one with a significantly damaged engine block. Who's upgrading it? We'll have to see if this turns out to be a bad idea. So the Universal Carrier is not, a high chance of getting finished off, in particular with the sprint here. And he has plenty of munitions for the second Panzerfaust. So, very good chance he can finish off. There we go. And there you go. Acehiro, of course, seeing the writing on the wall here, in this case German, pops the cancel order there on the universal carrier, and thus saves himself some munitions. Medics following up for Acehiro. Sappers with the gun up close here. Car 90Ks versus the Sten gun. Carrying into them with some efficient violence here. Sappers are doing plenty to count up close for the Sten guns. Grenadiers caught retreating. Section with the Grenadiers here. And others attacking from the north here. I imagine we'll be seeing the Pioneers there soon, heading back to set up a like to make a nice company, unless he's planning a Jaeger command squad or something else. Section pushed back here. Fun fact about the Sten gun, but the German infantry was actually fairly fond of it. Didn't hurt that they could actually use the ammunition because it's designed around the 9mm Parabellum and German magazines. So that gave the Germans their some advantages when it came to using trophy versions of it. Even German Fallschirmjägers would use them in large numbers. So fun fact there. Jaeger command squad up for Batonchik. Section there around the Grenadiers here. Again, one-on-one. Not a great engagement there for the Grenadiers unless they can catch them like out of cover. And even they can be a bit fraught with peril. Healing there for the Grenadiers on the east-west side. Then we got sections having 40 armoured car for Acehiro. Clearly expecting a armoured car here from Batonchik, or just once an armoured car up, we'll have to see. Yeah, command squad moving 4 belts. Do we have any Grenadier upgrades? 9, not as of yet. So far some fierce and furious infantry action here between Batonchik and Acehiro. Of course, Acehiro keeps up with a more motorised element here with the armoured car rhyming. Sappers busy with some mines there. Good spot, by the way. He's been engaged with the armoured car, the AC Mark III carrying into them. Backed up by 2 sections. That is an easy retreat here for Batonchik. Any continued fighting there would just result in a needless wipe. Which I'm sure Acehiro would appreciate, but it wouldn't really help Batonchik with this fight. Armoured car there flanking the Grenadiers here, pushing them back. Still, Batonchik does have good map control as Acehiro. For now at least. We'll have to see what that happens next. Here, command going forward. Saps are being pushed back. The light machines up there for Batonchik's Grenadiers, increasing that firepower significantly. As for Acehiro, he could of course go for weapon racks himself, add some Bren guns. And there you go. Like to make a nice company from Batonchik. There's a part of me that's slightly considering he might actually be planning something, a bit, more ballsy by, just trying to rush for tier 3, but that would obviously be very ambitious here by Batonchik. And there you go. Pantherfast in the armored car though, damaging the engine. East side here, Ponting sees for the section. There you go, Acehiro with a commander glider insertion. Calling in some commandos to give Batonchik their very, very rough time of it. Section routed. Armored car, there were 1 kill so far. So the question, of course, is where do the commandos land? Oh wait, landing right here next to Batonchik's northern car front. He does actually take up He does have the like to make a nice company, but I think at this point he's using it more like in an oh scheisse option, like in case he really needs pack 40. But otherwise, it does look like he's just going to try and rush ahead for the next tier. He bull stranded there by Batonchik versus Acehiro. Of course, they're trying, I think, to force something here with this commando insertion. Still need to be careful here. Yeah, command squad nearby. Already tossed the light gammon, so he's going to have to retreat the commandos here into the face of the Jaeger command squad. Heading westwards here, the armored car going for the Grenadiers there by the western point. Clearing out the glider there with some few well-placed shots then. Grenadiers trying to take for the AC Mark III here. Damaging the armored car, very good. Yeah, command squad flanking up. You might try for another Pantherfaust here, or at least keep the sappers away from the armored car for a bit longer, thus delaying the repairs of the armored car. Certainly a possible line of thought here by Batonchik. We'll have to see, but there you go. He does Pantherfaust out of the way. Sappers there, almost being up with the G43 wielding Jaeger command squad armored car there, heavily damaged now. And back here we do get a bolster section upgrade for Acehiro. Long for 5-man sections and sappers. Commando as well. They're already bolstered. Can't add in a 6th commando. That would also be a bit nuts. Pack 40 there for Batonchik, so he is taking up, but also going for the Pack 40.
Enemy action has destroyed our forward position.
Guess we'll see what happens next here. Section being slowly surrounded. Probably should consider retreating that in the near future. And there go roughing out the flanking commandos. Kills 2 men there, but still the commandos pack a lot of DPS here. In the end, then, there's just too many grenadiers about, and the commandos are forced to fall back, but not before ripping the command squad several new superfluous breathing holes. Back here, repairs going on. Medics again being attended by Acehiro. Batonchik, though, keeps up the spirit, keeps up the offensive. Pack forward those ready here for Batonchik and the 21st Panzer Division. Medics are there for Acehiro. Glider destroyed. Note, both the Germans and the Americans also utilized gliders. In fact, the Germans had probably the biggest glider of the Warners, the Gigant. In fact, it was a glider so big that initially they had to like make do a special formation with rocket-driven aircraft to like lift it off. In the end, after another solution which involved gluing two bombers together, they just basically made a version of the Gigant glider with engines on it. So, little fun-sized story there in gliders.
Infantry squads are ready to conduct.
Yeah, the Germans had a massive glider plane there, and by extension, massive aircraft. Commanders heading out for Acehiro. Grenadiers being pursued with a sectional retreat. Veterans won there achieved on the commandos. Good start there for Acehiro and this little commando adventure. No support McCoy. Oh, actually, spoke too soon. Now I didn't pay attention. Support McCoy there for Batonchik. Guessing a Panzer IV here. Would certainly be an optimal choice here. Pioneers pushed back though by the commandos. Again, their silenced den guns afforded them quite a bit of DPS. One thing east and the west. As for the Americans, they didn't operate like any particular big gliders. On the other hand, a fun fact about American glider pilots is the job was only to get the glider done. After that point, they could basically do whatever they want, and apparently in several cases, they just basically go off on a drunken bender in Western Europe. Meanwhile, British glider pilots are expected to fight alongside the rest. So yeah, fun story there as well. Panzer IV, the halfway there for Batonchik and the 21st Panzer Division. Commanders taking a few minor losses there. Ground western point there. Armored car rushing forward here. 2 kills on it so far. Obviously, it hasn't really been able to like shine as much because it's not amazing against infantry unless the player gets lucky. It's more about just, you know, fairly good versus light vehicles and even decent versus medium armor. But it's just, you know, Batonchik just didn't bother with the light vehicles since the AC just shuts that stuff down. And of course, there's the Panzer IV. But if you can sort of like, you know, land some good hit here before he sees a chance to get the armored car out of there and do anything with it, he could quickly deal with the armored car before that becomes a problem for Batonchik's Panzers. There we go, AC knocked out there. Good kill there for Batonchik. Section routed. Panzer IV charging out here for Deutschland. Up north there, Section Sappers moving about here. Big push there for Batonchik's base, but still, Acehiro controlling most of the map now. It is worth noting he is actually fairly behind in victory points compared to Batonchik so far. No tech yet either there for Acehiro. Though we do have the Bren guns now being handed out to the men, significantly increasing their firepower. Center being seized with the Grenadiers. Only one squad upgraded so far, and it's worth noting no ambush camouflage here on Batonchik either. Strength of the 6-pounder gun here with the Panzer IV. Fortunately for the Panzer IV, there are no sappers nearby, and the armored car has already been made short work of, so there's not really much you can seriously threaten the Panzer IV as it tries to take out the 6-pounder gun, but there goes sappers with the Piats. We'll try and put a stop there to the German armored menace. And as all this is happening in the center west, Batonchik is already ceasing the eastern fuel away from Acehiro. Nice maneuver there. Grenadiers catching the section here, backed up at the Panzer IV. They will find their Bren guns. Not a much use against the Panzer IV. Another nice shot there from the Panzer IV. 6-pounder gun moving up. He's been caught here in the west here by the commandos. A lot of damage to the commandos once they get close. Just absolutely can wreak havoc, and there you go. Friedrich there dropping dead in the face of the commandos. Steady assault. He's up that Panzer IV unit repairs. There we go. Comfy command post ready for Acehiro. Panther 4 being fixed up. Medic bunker up there for Batonchik. Map controller is definitely a bit more fluid now than it was in the early few moments of the game here. Grab victory points here and there. Fuel particles also being fit in there. Commanders continue to advance. No Bren guns on them, at least not yet. But I would not be surprised to see the Bren guns being eventually added to the Commandos, as they do get bonuses with the Bren guns that make them particularly effective with the Commandos. Well, no damage inflicted to the Panther 4 there by the PS or the 6-pounder gun. Lucky there for Batonchik. Very fortunate. Could try and push into the cemetery here, try and reclaim it, but I imagine his eyes are more set right now on the eastern fuel point. You can see there's infantry being sort of lined up there, I think, for a push towards the fuel point there by the lumberyard. More pioneers for Batonchik. As we do see a slight probe here towards the cemetery, but two Condeer squads will pretty much shut that down. So unless he commits more forces now, I imagine we're just going to see a retreat here from the west. Commanders hiding out. I imagine the way he's sort of doing that, he's hoping to like bait out a German unit, then rush in with the commanders, clear them out. Cromwell away there for Acehiro, bringing in his armor here versus Batonchik. Obviously not a bad idea. We'll have to see what Batonchik goes for next. He is in fact going straight for tier 4 here. Panther 4 sending out. Section they're getting blasted with the Panther 4 and clears out 60% of the unit there with a single shot. That's excellent work there for Batonchik's Panther 4. Ambush camouflage being added to the Grenadiers here. There we go. Commanders unleash an ambush here, though perhaps not quite as fully as they could have done. But either way, they'll push back their Batonchik Grenadiers. But there you go. Panther 4 to the rescue. Rushing in there, forcing Acehiro's commanders to leg it very rapid towards the base there as Batonchik's Panther 4 continues to rate 40. Piet's moving in there from one side, section from the other side. There you go. Crump's going to attack head on here. Batonchik there, it looks like he might just extend it. Can this have to get close enough for an anti-tank grenade? Looks like the answer to that is no, but the Cromwell here with its good speed should be able to move in and finish off the Panther 4 here. As Batonchik has moved the Panther 4 so far ahead, there's not even support, there's no anti-tank support either immediately. So unless he gets very lucky here, in this case, reaching veterans one line to blitzkrieg. Oh, it hit a mine! It hit a mine! Oh dear! The mine allows here Acehiro a chance to move the Cromwell and finish off the Panther 4. Got the Panther 4 there. Whew. Now, once more mines prove the worth. Well, that is definitely not your typical mine spot there, which clearly caught Batonchik off guard. So for that, Acehiro has now managed to gain the tank advantage over his opponent. Particularly if Batonchik decides to go for anything out of the heavy Panzer Corps, they'll definitely get Acehiro's Cromwell more time to wreak havoc on Batonchik and gain control of the battlefield. Though he does need to fix it up first. Ready to commanders back with the second straight for the command squad here. Ripping them apart, and these squads sprinting there towards better position, being caught by the second. In fact, they're sprinting straight for the trench, catching Acehiro out of position, punishing him in fact for just leaving a trench out there in the open. Meanwhile, Batonchik there is not flinching in the face of the Panther 4 loss, as in is sticking to his heavy Panzer Corps plan there. Gun bomb up, they're pushing up the Grenadiers. See another squad holding up the building here. Back here, Cromwell being fixed up, Eastern fuel being seized back. Less than 200 points face here versus Batonchik's 391. Rushing ahead here, and there go Grenadiers routing the west side here. Grenadiers falling back, repositioning, and there goes section on the fuel from there with their Bren guns, but they're being surrounded. And Batonchik is going for the Sturmpanzer, clearly not afraid of the Cromwell here, potentially any more medium tanks out of Acehiro, at which point the Sturmpanzer could risk getting knocked out pretty harshly, because it is worth noting otherwise only has an anti-tank gun to deal with enemy armor, so definitely feels like a bit of a risky move here by Batonchik. Bren gun drop. There's section took some nasty loss. In fact, looks like he got a wipe. And there you go. Bren gun drop. Grenadiers are making a run for it. There you go. Cromwell in there trying to prevent them from grabbing it, but they fails there. Falls short. Runs over poor Friedrich, but the rest of the squad makes off there. Don't worry, Friedrich. Your sacrifice will be remembered. He got run over. I don't think that's a sacrifice.
We're losing a capture point.
Troops sending out there for Batonchik. Eastern Provinces for the section. Commanders holding up. Peak. Packs Jägersman forward. Storm Pups holding up as well there for Batonchik. Into the section there. 6-pound gun for Acehiro.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Storm Hunter rolling in. Getting Cromwell fire there. Landing some nasty hits on the Storm Panzer. Pack gets a good shot from the Cromwell, which is down to half health. Need to pull that back before it gets wrecked. Section gunners move straight for the car on there. Cromwell almost knocked out in the sappers. Also close to being utterly demolished here by the Storm Panzer as Batonchik, without slowing down, keeps up the assault here against the English. So what Batonchik doing? Oh, close it, losing the Cromwell. But he's closing enough to be able to call another Cromwell or a centre already now, though. Don't think he's going to benefit too much from the centre when the Storm Panzer is about. I imagine he'll want to go for the Cromwell, or in this case, it goes for Hammer Tactical, move straight for the Comet. Acehiro is clearly failing here in the face of current opposition from Batonchik.
Supply line's been cut.
A bold strategy. Section is the Ye Command Squad already low and healthy. The Ye Command Squad easily has the upper hand here. We got flares off as well there from Batonchik. Oh my. That's a rarely used ability by Germans when they ever get it. Storm Panzer being fixed up. Acehiro needs something about the victory points right now, or this match could turn fairly short for him at this current rate. Cromwell being fixed up again. Gonna take some more time now that he went for hammer tactics, and obviously he's planning a comet here. Though if he can make it work, obviously the situation could get more awkward for Batonchik, though. That said, if Batonchik's going to go for the Panther now, he's obviously going to get his out before Acehiro has a chance of getting out the Comet. So Acehiro again needs to focus on that, in particular the field points and the victory points. But there you go. Storm Panzer integrating the Commandos, obliterates some poor sod, leaves the rest traumatized and forced to run back home. East side here fighting for the eastern victory point here as Batonchik is slowly applying pressure there. Storm Panzer swing eastwards here to assist there as well. Instead of hitting where the British are most focused, he hits where they are a bit weaker there. I think that's a smarter play though, Batonchik, if that was his intent. If that of course was. West side here, bit of maneuvering as well there. Looks like that was not the intent after all. Bit of a shame. And the east here, Acehiro stands victorious over Batonchik, push back the Grenadiers because they're moving the field point, Cromwell up the centre here, engaging near Batonchik centre, Pack 40 fires, gets a decent hit on the Cromwell. Batonchik there slowly inching towards a Panther, whatever he wants. I mean, he's getting a lot of fuel per minute compared to Acehiro, and that's definitely something that should be a priority for Acehiro to shut off before that becomes too much of an issue. Storm Panzer straight to line of fire, the 6-pounder guns, keep pulling out one of the gunners, cruise there easily. Cromwell 6-pounder in there, 6-pounder gun number 2, they're also being mauled here by the Grenadier Storm Panzer combo. Really causing some heavy loss there for Acehiro, and only I think making a situation much more uncomfortable. There you go, Storm Panzer almost obliterated the Savage, well, the 6-pounder gun destroyed. Really bad spot to be in here for Acehiro, even as Batonchik is practically racing towards a possible Panther here. He says grab the field point in the east, the victory point in the west here. And with that, Batonchik has successfully demolished both of Acehiro's 6-pounder guns, leaving Acehiro basically just with a pair of Piets and a Cromwell tank to stop Batonchik's Panzerwaffe. And he is moments away from a Panther at that. And considering what he's so far been doing, a Panther seems very likely here from Mr. Batonchik. Yup, Panzer Kampfwagen 5 is in fact on the way. Pretty much pressed the button as soon as he could. So there's a Panther being sent in there. Note, the 21st Panzer Division did not actually have a Panther battalion attached to his regiment by the time the fighting in Normandy began. It actually received one from the 2nd Panzer Division, which in return received a Panther battalion from the 116th Panzer Division, which didn't then get a Panther battalion. to replace that. So, little fun fact there. Panther's almost done, wrapping up the section there. But yeah, Panther battalions are generally seen as your valuable assets for not unconfident to be moved around in time. For example, in Italy, actually let's wait for that story here. Pushing forward here, pushing back the Gandese with some Cromwell fine section fire there. In the centre there we got the Storm Panzer going straight here for Batonchik centre. Well, Acehiro centre really as well. And there you go, Panther ready there for Batonchik. East side here fighting for the eastern fuel point, victory point there. Acehiro's commandos absolutely blow the Grenadiers out of the water and successfully clears them out. West side here, Storm Panzer rushing forward here against Acehiro's exposed flank there. Pack 40s moving in, Pioneers rushing forward towards got the Panther. Acehiro at least is starting to get close here towards the Comet smoke deploy there for the Cromwell, but he needs to get the Cromwell out on there soon or it's got to be turned into nothing. And there you go. Panther there landing a great hit and the Cromwell keeps up the pursuit here. Cromwell racing ahead here, using the emergency war speed to get out of there. Emphasis on emergency, de-emphasis on war. Commanders falling back in the east. I think going to try and move them further ahead to grab some more points. Cromwell dying repairs. Acehiro is getting close to the Comet. He's getting very close. I was saying about the Panther in Italy, when they first received, you know, a division, Panzer division with Panthers in it there, what actually happened was the Corps commander actually needed to proceed to remove the Panthers from the division and actually make them into an independent asset to be, you know, held in reserve. So that's a bit of a fun story there. Sappers on the way there for Acehiro. 2 sappers there plus the combat finally happening. It also, of course, means he's got access to more Piets to help deal with the German Panzers. Of course, they still need to get within range and just shoot at them, but it does technically give them some more mobile anti-tank stuff there. Jaeger Command Squad there being hammered. Panther firing well as well there. We got the commanders on the move there. Panther moving in to try and clear them. Jaeger Command Squad occupying the trench there. Howards are here for Batonchik, bring in some artillery to further make the Englishmen stay worse. We'll have to see, of course, who's done next. The side's going for a Comet. Keeping the offensive here, going for the trench here. Heavy firing around the cut-off point here as Batonchik is doing his best to keep it out of Acehiro's hands. We got 143 to 136. Section in the trench, one definitely having a bad day. Comet almost done for Acehiro. Pack in trouble as well. But not too much trouble either. Comet racing forces should at the tank commander east side there. Being grabbed by the Gandese here, fighting around the centre continues at a pretty horrific pace here for Acehiro. West side there, Cromwell in reserve. Storm Panzer moving in. And the howitzer is almost set up here for Batonchik and the German army. Here it's the Storm Panzer shoots and doesn't kill anyone. East side they're coming in for the Gandese by the field point. They do get a bit of ambush bonus off, but they're ultimately forced to retreat in the face of the severity of Acehiro's counterattack there in the centre. Storm Panzer being pushed back. The Piets definitely threatening a bit here. Panther also to reposition. There we go. More hits. More damage. Coming up the east side, he catches the command squad in the open. 3 kills so far. West side, Cromwell since the Pioneers packing. There you go, bombarding the base here by Batonchik's howitzer. Basically, hope to get lucky approach so far, actually landing some hits there. They're mostly killing medics, but that could soon change. I think Acehiro needs to like move towards the, you know, spread his men out a bit more so they become easy targets for the howitzer there. We got smoke bombs here from Batonchik as well.
HQ is under attack.
Commanders continue to hide out. They're ready to ambush any Germans. Center being seized by the Grenadiers. Panther also moving forward here for the German army. Slowly but surely. And there you go. Common Corps for the Panther. 6 gun there. Oh, Pack 40 is on reserve there. Shot bounces here. Panther does not. West side here we got the section as the Grenadiers here. Light machine gun versus light machine gun. Got 2 versus 1. It's going to come down to the veterans, in which case the Grenadiers do have a bit more advantage. Cromwell rushing forwards here. Could even try like threaten to run them over. Actually run them over. I mean, why threaten? You can actually do it. Storm Hunter pushing back the commanders in the centre of the good shot there. Smoke ultimately of no avail against 150mm high explosives shells. So what will happen next here? How will Batonchik respond to all this? He's going for the Stuk 3G. Thumbs up.
Where do you want us?
122 was a 36. Still, Batonchik has a nice lead over Acehiro. Acehiro definitely needs to do something on those victory points. Panther almost good to go again. But it more or less actually is. It's almost close to Veterans 1 though. Stuk halfway down there for Batonchik. Smoke being deployed again. He's constantly, I think, doing this to get an idea as to where Acehiro is so he can actually exploit any gaps that are made by Acehiro. But also just overall find the best path to attack with. So thumbs up there. Very sensible and smart move there by Batonchik. Mines down, another pack for the Batonchik and the German army. Storm Panzer's Panther flying away here. Crom racing forces, 7 kills, half HP, 3 straight. The Storm Panzer gaining measures 2, Panther gaining measures 1. Sappers going forward here with anti-tank grenades possible there. PS fire, there we go. Comet engages but misses. Commandos going for the Pack 40. Sappers and the Comet still at it here versus the Panther. Stuk cancelled for another Pack 40. That's a shame there. That is a big shame in my opinion. Commandos keep up the assault here. Panther taking further damage here. Piet and Comet there doing heavy damage over Telemine there. But will it matter? Almost got the Panther. There we go. Pack cleared up by the Commandos. There you go. Panther down. A significant blow to Batonchik and the German army, leaving just for the Sturmpanzer. Sappers Commandos force retreat. Comet backing off as well. So with this, I think Acehiro's opened a potentially very impressive door against Batonchik, but can he exploit the Sturmpanzer? In fact, that get knocked over the Comet and Cromwell combo racing forward here for the British Empire, going straight forward. Panther has the Comet that cooks off the engine like a kettle left on for too long, and there you go. Comet gaining veteran 3 as Cromwell gaining veteran 3. Sturmpanzer cooks off. The Cromwell is not even close to veteran 2 at this point. So, still quite fierce back and forth action between Acehiro and Batonchik here. We got 92 as a 36 here. Smoke deployed rapidly. Grenadiers, GA Command Squad clashing in. There we go. Knocking out Acehiro's Comet. Section there holding the point here, trying to grab it. We got smoke rate operation. Pretty rarely used ability. Also much more focused now than it used to be. But artillery being deployed as well here. Still needs to grab some of those points. Needs to get his infantry going. He also needs more armor for sure. Though so does Batonchik, who has currently got no tanks at all. Commandos heading out there. Could consider up with a Bren gun, and the Cromwell is knocked out by double pack volley, leaving now neither side with any tanks. But Batonchik still has the victory point lead, and he does have more units in general as well. Something that Acehiro will have to work on closing. We'll also grab the victory points. There you go, fight for the Eastern one here. We got smoke bombs deployed again, I think just to contest here. Yes indeed, thumbs up to Batonchik. Sharp thinking there. Forcing Acehiro's meant to move in which case you can just basically use attack round with a flamethrower on them. Cheeky work there. But clearly effective. So their fighting continues here as Acehiro remains firmly dug in. They're refusing to hand it back to the Germans. Taunting them to come and try and take it. And the Germans are so far very much aggressively obliging on that one. Commanders there. Quickly forced back here, taking too much fire there from the Germans. Looks like Acehiro is in fact going for another Comet team as the victory points are bleeding up pretty rapidly. I think that could prove to be a bit of a mistake here under current circumstances. I understand why he wants more Comets out, as they're obviously good, but I think the timing makes them a bit more hazardous to go from. He's only got 78 points left versus his opponent 333. It's not like Acehiro's actually controlling the victory points. So now the command squad called in some more elite infantry to take on Batonchik. Could work out if you can land them correctly. Catch some of the support weapons and hose them. That could actually have a positive impact here for Acehiro. We'll have to see though what the exact plan is. But yeah, second commander squad popping in there from above. Right, the Pioneers. Section of the Gundis. And there you go, another Panther Batonchik and the German army. Yeah, command to rush retreat the section there. Right into the Bren guns. Down to just 2 men. Gonna have to treat those before they get turned into mincemeat here. Commanders at the centre of the artillery fire in this time using airburst shells. You've got 12 kills, versus 2 there. Bombarding the base there with some very, very spicy artillery there. Gunnies by the western victory point being handed over the section. We got Sapling from the other side here. We got 69 versus 335 here. 68. Panther almost on the Batonchik and the German army, the 21st Panzerdivision. Commander's holding out here. Note he's holding them to fire so he can, you know, bait in the Grenadiers from us into a much better range for the commanders and then sort of host them down there. Panther ready though for Batonchik. Second Panzerkampfwagen 5 Gefechtsbereit here. From the 3rd Panzer Company. Troop enforcing healing. He's got the fuel now, he just needs the manpower for the Comet. Meanwhile, Batonchik they're charging out with a Panther. Pinlock machine being added. Still, Acehiro's making this Comet stall kind of work out, but again, it's pretty risky. There you go, command time to the Pioneers getting noticed again with the ambush coming bonus there, and the veterans completely just melts away the Pioneers in a matter of seconds. And we got Otto there going, "You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, right round." That is definitely one of the more impressive spin arounds I've seen as well. Going for the western point, we got 66 to 96 here. Batonchik and Acehiro continue to clash quite fiercely here. Comet is on the way, but Batonchik is fearlessly pushing forward here for Deutschland, seizing as many victory points as he can, stopping and stalling the bleed here as rapidly as possible. Got commanders there equipped with a flamethrower on top of the Siren's den guns. Not quite a stealth weapon, but you know, at this point I think stealth isn't the biggest priority for Acehiro. Pioneers pushing forward, got the commanders hunting out there. Catching the Pioneers and quick landing some aggressive kills with the submachine guns. And Batonchik isn't paying attention, that's going to be a wipe here for Acehiro's commandos. There we go. Quick Pioneer wipe there, good work section. Commanders pushing forward, so we got more to cover called in here. Right on Batonchik, going to these folks, there you go. Panthers pushing in on the troops here. Bombs going off here. Explosions all over the place here. Comet has arrived here for Acehiro. Grenadiers being enveloped in noxious and toxic white phosphorus smoke. The section pushing forward to that Panther pushing back east side there. I think the commanders will need to move here, need to flank up here, help them secure the centre victory point. We've got 56 versus 289 here. Panther push back. Troops reinforcing healing here. Commanders got a bit more to go, but other sections I think are ready to rejoin the fight here. Panther bounces a shot there from the Comet. We got 53 to 289 here. Grenadiers versus the section there. Commanders remaining still inert here for Acehiro. Grenadiers round it. Pack lines great on the Comet. Panther returns to hit this roll there. Bren guns being dropped here. The sappers push forwards here. Batonchik is refusing to yield any ground here to the Englishman. He's pushing forwards here. Fearlessly sending his Panther against the Comet here. Comet almost getting knocked out, in fact. Gonna be close here. Sappers the Grenadiers here until the fight keeps at it. 12 kills, still bet you 2 more airburst shots. The Comet is left on fire here. Encountering the Panther on unfavorable terms here. And the commanders there, by the way, are still doing nothing. Might have been forgotten about Acehiro doing all of the intense action. The other command squad setting out here. Panther there. 4 kills, veterans he won. More Pioneers. Yes, he's obviously lost all of his Pioneers previously to German commanders, or British commanders and other nasty stuff here. Going to swing forwards. Fresh Pioneers there for Batonchik. Panther diving in there. Going straight for the commandos, who will quickly force retreat here to abscond in the face of the German Panzerwaffe. Commanders remain inert down there. We got 33 here versus 289 here. I have no idea what Acehiro's planning next, but I think he needs to accelerate those time plans. And we got Batonchik bring in an Ostwind to help deal with infantry. Something a bit cheaper here. than the Storm Panzer. And that's also easy to get out of the field. I think it's pretty good. Plus, it might help in case there's some air support from Acehiro. Going for the Western victory point. Sharp. We got 26 versus 289. So, unfortunately, in this line of fire, got some empty camouflage going off as well here. No Bren guns on the Commandos whatsoever. And he's still not doing anything. Those again, I'm still wanting to defend the point, but at the same time, I don't think you want to be using it, but it's effectively a 319 manpower unit to defend that point forever. We got smoke operation being utilized here. Nice to see that one used. They're actually so rare to see that used nowadays. I mean, Commando in general is rare, but this one is probably one of the very rare abilities overall. Panther pushing forward here. Pioneers went to contested. We got 24 versus 285 here. We got a Stuka bomb drop here from Batonchik on the center, which ironically clears out the point here, which actually in this case kind of helps out Acehiro, as it kind of means Batonchik does bleed out faster, but at the same time it does kind of force him away there. So we'll have to see what happens next here. But there you go, Flak Panther to the rescue here, pushing back Acehiro from the center. We've got 24 versus 273. You got more smoke dropping inside the base. No tank yet for Acehiro. Does start to look like he's in fact planning another comet. Could also start bombarding here the British base, and enough Osprey rushing in for the eastern point here. And those commandos will need to either hide or retreat because they are absolutely powerless against the amount of the Flak Panther. Smoke bombs being dropped here again. Going for the commandos.
We are losing a sector.
Osprey sitting out here. 24 to 264. Straight westwards got 22 versus 264. 21. Acehiro there. Ooh, ambush with the commanders on the east side here. Almost got a wide pick, close call. In fact, the commanders might say they'll finish off the gun these here, but it looks like fortune slips out of Acehiro's hands here. Like a very, very slippery fish. Osprey pushing west. We're going to go for a wipe inside the base on the section. Could land it here. Or not. There we go. Got the white phone, took rotated. Medics not being bombarded in the center. We got the British pushing forwards here. We got 12 versus 164 here. Not looking super amazing here for Acehiro versus Batonchik. No response to the Osprey on the base, in part because he can't really do anything about it. He's just lost all his peer sappers. So he's got 9 tank weapons. He's down to 9 points. I think at this point in CG, in fact, he might have already left here, and the game's taking some time to realize this. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening here. So 7. Go, GG, game over. Loss for Acehiro, victory for Batonchik, a victory for Deutschland. Some nice back and forth action, but I think Acehiro strategically made a few mistakes here, and tactically similarly could also chosen, I think, to engage a bit more smartly versus Batonchik as the match advanced there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I've learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. We'll talk tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.